This is Somyajit again. Welcome to the course again related to Android app development provided by Ittoolstraining. So this particular tutorial we are going to focus on introduction to Android Studio, and Android Studio is the IDE that we will follow throughout this course to develop such an intuitive applications in Android. Now without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing I would like you to do is go to your Google Chrome and download the Android Studio if you don't have. So you just have to go to this particular website, https://developer.android.com/studio. So here you will get the complete details regarding Android Studio. You just have to go on, press this button, download Android Studio, and after that everything rest will be taken care of this particular Android Studio tool. So once you download this Android Studio and get up and running, you will see this Android Studio intuitive dialog box. So to start developing Android Studio project, you have to click on here, start a new Android Studio project, and you have to give your application name. So let's say that I am giving the name as uh, Hello World application. Hello World application. For now, I will not include the Kotlin support, so I would just develop this app into Java, and this is the package name that you have to provide. So I'll just change this one with IT Tools Training Android, and this is the location where your application will be installed. So you can see this the package name, the complete package name is ittoolstrainingandroid.com. So this is the domain that I have provided here, and this one will be your this one will be appended by com and your the application name. So that will be your complete package name. You can even edit that one, that is up to you. Now after this thing we have to click on next, and here API level selection is there. So for phone and tablet you can select your API level. So basically once you click on this drop down, you will see all list of APIs that you are going to target. So basically this is the minimum SDK level that you are targeting. So let's say I am targeting minimum is Android 21. So what happens is, by targeting, Android will give you a notification that by targeting API level 21 and later your app will run on approximately 85% of devices. So that does mean Android is showing us that 15% of devices are still running which are not having whose SDK level are not up to the mark compared to Lollipop. So they are running on maybe Android level 4 or 3. So best thing what I recommend is start always with API level 15. So basically you will give the compatibility of API level 15, and you can see now your app will run approximately 100% of devices. Now if you want to create some wearables, you can click here to wearables, TVs, and everything will be there, and Android to auto and everything. So basically now we'll focus on Android Studio. So let's just start with phone and tablet devices. So afterwards you click on next, and here you have to select the starting activity type. So basically I'll go through this one in a bigger manner in a next tutorial, but for now just click on empty activity and start this thing rolling. So I click on next, and this is my first activity name that you have to give. Here let's say I am keeping it as it is, main activity, and let's say I'm finishing it. So once I click on finish, Android will start creating the application itself. So let's say it is now saying that building hello world application. So here a lot of you know uh, backward compatibility thing, building Gradle files, your Java jars and all those things will be taken care of by Android Studio itself, and your build will be generated. And after all these things gets done, you will see Android Studio developing a screen for you to develop your apps. So basically this is the IDE that you are going to follow through. Now how things look like over here is, this is the first activity what you are seeing as main activity, and it is none other than a pure Java class which is having a connection with the screen. So let's say how these two are connected is, This particular activity, this is a Java class which is controlling a particular screen. The screen is activity main.xml. So this is let me just go through the screen so that yes. So this is the screen that I was talking about. So here everything that we will generate, let's say I'll put a button here, and this particular button will be controlled by the code that we'll write in this particular class. So how things happen here and there, I will give you guys complete idea about those things in later videos, but for now let's focus on Android Studio more. So this particular section that you see, it's called the the window which is containing your project hierarchy level, all those details. So here you will see the Gradle files, and here you will see all things related to your application. So if you go on Java, you will see that here is the one class which is named as main activity that we have generated through the generating the application. And inside this one, this race is none other than resource. You will see in the layout you have the activity main.xml, which is none other than this one. Now in the values you will see colors, styles, and strings. These are three XML files that you will always get once you create a Android application. The first one is a resources file which is having which is named as string.xml, and here you will be defining most of the string that you will use throughout your application. So basically this particular thing is really handy once you need to translate your application strings to a different type of language. So at that time what you really need to do, you need to translate this particular string file, and everything rest will be taken care of by your Android application. So you really don't need to go through and make the necessary changes in the code level. So here this particular style that you see, that is the app theme. It will it will define the theme of the application that you will be developing. So where it is used, that I will show you, just wait a bit. And in this color section, here is the three colors that are defined by the Android application itself, Android Studio itself, so that you can play around these colors, and this will act as the primary colors for your theme. So if you go into here, you see that these are the colors that have been used and which are defined here in the colors.xml. Now if we go ahead and see little bit about here, this is Androidmanifest.xml. So this particular file is the basic file, and the file which connects every single dot regarding what you write in the Android application. So this is the main controller of an Android application. So here every particular activity or even service or any app component that you create, that has to be defined here. So we have one particular activity in this particular application, this basic application, which is main activity. This one, see, that is written over and initialized over here. This is the activity, and this particular intent filter, it shows that this is the starting point or launcher point of the application. So anytime your application starts, this is the first activity that will be opened up. And here if you see in the application tag, we have this Android theme style app theme. So it is, this app theme is defined under the style. So under the style means under the style.xml. So if you go into the styles.xml file, you will see a thing called app theme. So this is how Androidmanifest controls the theme of your app by going into the style.xml and finding this particular theme named app theme, which is defined here. And apart from that, you have your package name here, and this particular manifest file we have to use many times. If let's say I am creating another activity, so let's say I'll just create a one. So to create an activity, you have to go here, right click here, new, and go into activity and create another basic activity. I'll name this one main2 activity, and I'll finish this one. So what will happen is Android basically will create another activity for you, where you will be creating a design and having a Java file which will control that design. And now After the end of this one, after the end of once the activity is created, you will go and you will see in the manifest file there will be another activity. So Android takes care of this one for you. It writes another activity because you have one launcher, and I really do not want another launcher to have in this application. So that is why there is no intent filter attached to this particular activity inside manifest file. But once you create your broadcast receivers or services, Android will not take care of that one to put into manifest file. That we have to do it explicitly. That will come once we will discuss and broadcast receiver or services, etc. Now, apart from this one, if you go into the Gradle files, you have to have a little bit idea about the Gradle files. So what happens is you have two Gradle files. One is your project level Gradle files, and another is your app level Gradle files. So in the project level Gradle file, you have to you know you have to define that repositories from where you need your dependencies. So let's say I need a dependency of A, and Android Studio doesn't know where to find A. So A will be used as a library in my application, but in order for Android Studio to get A into this application, he has to go to B. So B is the address of A, and B, you have to define B over your project level project level build Gradle file, so that Android Studio knows, okay, in order to find A I have to go to B. And this app is your the app level Gradle file. So here you have to define all the dependencies that you need. So these are the dependencies Android will basically give it to you as a default. But apart from that, if you really need to add up any library dependencies, let's say custom dependencies or anything like that, you have to add it up over here. And we have chosen minimum SDK level as 15, so that is why it is written over here, the minimum SDK level that we are targeting. And the target SDK version is we have not given anything, but as we are using 28 level you know app compat dependencies, that is why it is provided over here that compile SDK and target SDK is 29 28. We can target less than that also. So for that one we have to change these values. So apart from that, I guess this is the basic fundamentals that you really need to know it by to start an application in Android Studio to get things running. Now again, what I will do, so basically apart from that, one thing again you have to know is this particular button. This is the run app button. Once I click on the run app, let's see what will happen. So once I click on the run app, Android will give me a emulator. So what is emulator? Emulator is none other than a visual representation of a mobile device where I can see whatever I have built, that I will be seeing. So currently I do not have anything apart from the this button in my activity main.xml file. So basically I guess once I run this one, I will see that one only. So I'll start off, I'll run it and let's see what is there. So basically what will happen, Android Studio will try installing this application into this virtual mobile device, which is by default Android provides a Google Nexus device. So once we just wait for Android to install that one, and Gradle build is running. So I guess we have to wait for some seconds maybe. Then we'll see the one screen, one application named Hello World application, where we'll be seeing a button, because that is only one thing we have in this project as of now. So generally it takes a little bit time. It depends on the on your PC or laptop where you are running its specifications and all. So I guess it's installed and the worm build is done. So now we will see what is there. So just see, we have added one single button and the name is Hello World application, and it is there. So basically this is this is one of the way we can test our applications using this emulator. Apart from that, mostly I'll use my own device or even emulators sometimes to show you guys whatever I'll be building throughout this application, throughout this course of Android app development. And that's it, I guess, for a introduction to Android Studio as an IDE. So we'll focus mostly from the next tutorials on the fundamental things that we'll need to know in order to build applications. And I guess the next video will be based on the widgets like buttons, text views, edit text, and how we can operate those things using Java files and XMLs. So we'll, we'll, I guess we'll have a lot more fun, a lot more intuitive sessions in this particular course. So that's it, guys. For now, bye. See you soon.